Let's turn to that terrible fire in Turkey, because 4 people, including a hotel owner, have been detained after fire swept through a hotel in a popular Turkish ski resort, killing 66 people and injuring 51. The blaze is believed to have broken out on the 4th floor in the restaurant there in the early hours of this morning. There were 234 guests staying at the hotel for the school holidays. Well, with me once again is our correspondent Nikki Schiller, who's following this story. And Nikki, just take us through the very latest you're hearing, because the pictures were absolutely horrifying.
I think as soon as you see those pictures, Matthew, imagine you were in that hotel. It's 3:30 in the morning and suddenly there is a fire that overtakes the whole of the building. Now, this building is in an area of the Bolu Mountains, which is a popular ski resort. It's about 100 miles northwest of Ankara, and the authorities say that they think it started in a restaurant and then quickly spread. I want to show you some pictures that give you the sense of just the ferocity of the fire. Now, these were taken by someone shortly after, and you can see those flames up the building, and the pictures you'll see next show that people actually tied blankets together and linen from the bed to try and escape down those fire areas. And we know that of those, 2 people, local Turkish media reporting, actually died while they were trying to jump out of those windows.
And we've been just looking at various detail about the panic at the time, exactly as you described. I was listening to one ski instructor. He says he knows the hotel very well, stays there, knows the layout so he could get out, but others, people staying there, didn't and became trapped.
Absolutely, and the hotel is investigating whether there were people trapped in their rooms while the fire was raging through. There were 2 fire escapes in that building, but as you say, if you go into a hotel, do you know where that fire escape is? And that ski instructor that you spoke about, he said that he helped pull 20 to 25 other people out. Now, we have been speaking the Turkish media to some of the survivors. Here's what one of them had to say.
We are waiting to maybe save our important and valuable belongings and also get some important news from inside. We smelt it. We went down relatively early. I say relatively early because the alarm hadn't gone off. 2 floors were probably on fire. We were trying to get to the upper floor and we couldn't. There were flames. We had to go downstairs and come out from below. We came here later. There was no fire department around anyway, I guess because it was an emergency. It took 1 to 1.5 hours for the fire department to come from below.
Well, interesting, that last sentence. So tell me a little more then about what the authorities are actually saying.
Yeah, so it did take the fire engines an hour or so to get there. That is because this is in a remote area in those mountains. You can see it from the pictures on the cliffside, and the city is about an hour away, and the road up is quite narrow, and also because it is so cold and freezing, the conditions were really bad. There is an investigation underway, and in the last couple of hours the Turkish authorities have detained 4 people, including the owner of the hotel. We understand that the owner and some of his family were actually there at the time. The people who've been rescued are staying in another hotel nearby, but Matthew, just as another sense of the scale, it took them 12 hours to put those flames out, which shows you the scale of that blaze.
And briefly, do we know very much about the 66 people who have died, the 50 or so who are injured, nationalities, all of those sorts of details, basic details?
Yeah, not at the moment, and I think that's what a lot of people will be worried about, where if you've had relations heading to that area. But no, at the moment the Turkish authorities haven't given us any details of the fatalities.
Nikki Schiller, thanks for taking us through all of that.